What's up, guys? Happy Friday. Welcome to the Deal Desk, where I call your leads live. I first have to start off by saying congratulations to Sam. Sam, you locked up your very first contract in the community yesterday on a live call. It was great. You submitted it. It was a PPL lead. I called the seller. You got to see the whole thing from beginning to end. And I think it's a great deal over there in St. Louis, Missouri. So congratulations to that. Keep up the great work. And let's get started. So let's see, what is the first property we have here? This is in Baton Rouge. Good. Repairs, what property condition? Good. Doesn't look, looks okay, I guess. Repairs needed, medium. They're asking 172. Absentee owner, cash buyer. Owner type business. So they just bought this. I was looking at the comps, and it actually looks like they just bought this. So I don't know what their intentions are, but maybe let me pull this up here. All right. Baton Rouge. Let's go to this here. All right. Baton Rouge. So we have some comps here. I'm going to go ahead and call this seller. Let me pull up the property information first so I have a good idea of bedroom, bathroom, square footage year built. It doesn't look too bad. Let me see if I can add it here. All right. Doesn't look too bad. So, if this is an investor selling this property and they just bought it, we want to ask why. Why are you trying to sell this and you just bought it? I think they bought this in December. Let me just double check here. Actually, they bought this in January. Estimated price. So I'm going to go ahead and call them. It doesn't say bedroom, bathroom, just says the square footage. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and call them and see what they say. All right. What's the person's name here? It just has an LLC. So I'm not sure if you spoke with this person yet. This may have to be a cold call. Let's go ahead and call him. Yeah, I think you got the number, but you didn't reach out to him, which I don't mind doing. But try to speak with these people first, pre-qualify them. Let's call them back again. And then I'm going to run some comps here. According to PropStream, they bought this 33,000. Okay. And it's 240,000. So that looks pretty good. But maybe they're going to renovate this. It's not very likely that they just bought it and they're just going to resell it unless something happened. And this is why it's important to pre-qualify these leads, because sometimes you'll speak with somebody or you come across a property that was, let's say you were driving for dollars. I mean, this fits all the categories with that. You're driving for dollars, and then this property comes along. The landscaping, it just looks vacant. I don't know. There's a chair here. I don't know. You got some landscape stuff there needs to be taken care of. But if you come across this and it's an investor and you put here in the notes cash buyer, this is probably somebody that you want to add to your cash buyers list. So say, hey, I came across your property. Are you interested in selling? Well, I just bought it, right? Okay. So I acquire off-market properties all the time. Are you looking for some more in the area? Get their buy box or criteria. Chances are, I mean, they bought this property for a reason, so try to stick around that area. But if a cash buyer just bought a property, they're probably, they're probably going to renovate it and then sell it. So just keep that in mind. All right, let's go to the next one here. Let's see what we got. Excuse me, I think I'm getting sick. But it's gonna go away today. I'm gonna feel a lot better today. All right. Let's check the community. Okay, there's one in Ocala. I think this may be a resubmission. Let me just double check. Doesn't have any photos or anything, so maybe it wasn't submitted. I'll try calling him. There's no information on this on here. Nothing I can see on here. What's fair condition? 3-bedroom, 3-bathroom, vacant for 4 months. Tenant given notice. Realtor listed for $469 for 3 months and couldn't sell. Now selling on her own at $410. Oh, hold on a second. I spoke with this lady, I think, Let me just double. Yeah, I think I spoke with this lady. She had it listed. Yep, I remember now. I just got to check the box. So this lady, she was motivated, but she was very firm on a price. When a homeowner wants to sell a property at a price close to or above than what it was listed before, it won't make sense. It won't make sense. There's no reason that they would do that, right? And I posted in the community earlier this week about educating people politely, because when it comes to the comps, you have data. You have data at your fingertips that the sellers don't have while they're on the phone with you. Okay, so it's up to you to educate the homeowner on what you find. Okay. All right, let's look at some of these. There's some new leads here. Looks like one in Oklahoma. This person, just curious, and looks like they bought it last month. Well, people that are just curious. Let me see. Did they sell this? Nope. This is 2025. If somebody's just curious to see what it's worth, it's probably not worth your time even calling them, because if you go through the whole script with somebody that's kind of interested and just curious, by the time you make the offer, negotiate, all that stuff, it's just not going to go anywhere. They weren't looking to sell in the first place. So only speak with people that are actually interested in selling. This person is not interested, so I'm going to mark not interested. No motivation to sell. This goes across all marketing channels. Okay. Cold calling, even inbound leads, PPC, PPL. Some people fill out forms because they're bored. Believe it or not, some people fill out a form online. They're bored. They want to see what their house is worth. Maybe they thought about selling, but they're not actually interested in selling. All right, what about this one here? There was one that came in. Let me see if I could pull it up here. This lady. Let's see where this is at. There's not a full address on your Lakeshore Drive. Her cash price is $185,000. Okay. I don't really care about the price. I care about why and when. Super important. You pay attention to why you want to sell, when you want to sell. Don't pay attention to the price. The price is always the last thing. Okay. All right. So here's a property. I mean, there's not much information besides that. This looks like it's in great shape. Interesting layout. I mean, yeah, I mean, it's in good shape. Let's give him a call. Mrs. Whitby.
Hello?
Hey, Mrs. Whitby. Can you hear me okay?
Hello?
Oh, hold on a second. Hold on a second. Let me make sure this is on the right setting here. Let's call her back.
Hello?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes.
Sorry about that. My name's Steve, and I think you spoke with my partner a while back about a property you were interested in selling in Oklahoma on Lakeshore Drive.
Yes, sir.
Were you still
Yes,
looking
sir.
at an offer on it?
No, we're good. Thank you.
Oh, you're not looking to sell?
No.
Oh, okay. All right. So she's not interested in selling. If somebody is initially interested in selling and they give you reasons they want to sell, and then, you know, they're in follow up, and then all of a sudden they don't want to sell, you know, then there's something that happened in between, whether a family member, sometimes even a realtor, whispered in their ear. But if they weren't initially interested, I mean, the notes here say she just wants a cash offer 185. She is not she's not motivated to sell. All right, let's go to the next one. Let's see what else we got here. All right, this one is in Riverview. Okay. Working with an agent. Yes. House. Okay. Well, is this listed? Let's first let's look at that. It said it sold. When did it sell? Yeah. No, this sold for full market value. It's not an investment, so this is dead. You know, if somebody submits a form and they say they're working with an agent, I call them anyway because I don't know what their experience is with the agent. Some people, they'll submit, you know, their property for sale and it's listed. And when I go through the conversation, they say, "Oh, don't worry about it. I'll take it down," or "That's my friend that listed it," or whatever the case may be. I still continue the conversation because if they took enough time out of their day to fill out a form and, you know, they want to sell the property and it's listed, that's fine. I still want to understand why they filled out a form. I don't count them out until I speak with them. Now, if they submitted a form, the property is fully renovated, I still want to call them because sometimes you guys will come across leads. Their house is in excellent shape, and they just don't want to. They don't want to go the traditional route. And remember, the cash offer isn't a one size fits all. Sometimes you got to switch to the terms. Sometimes you have to switch to the creative financing option, seller finance up to, or novation. All right, let's go to this person here. Let me see some of these. There we go. Mr. Stein. All right, Mr. Stein. This is, where's this at? There's not a full address here. Broken Arrow. There it is. Okay. Well, this property looks good. It kind of looks like the property a little bit. Like we used AI Driving for Dollars. I got to make a video about that. But the AI Driving for Dollars found this property, and it was success. We closed on it, and it was a great deal. All right, so here's the property. What's information on this one? They want to relocate. Good condition, little to no repairs needed. All right, let's give him a call. Mr. Stein.
Your call has been forwarded to voicemail.
They have equity in it. That's really good. So they got this for $103,000. This property. Hold on. Hello. This property is worth around $300,000. They got this in 1996. Wow. Really good area.
Your call has been forwarded to voicemail. The person you're trying to reach is not.
Yeah, this is really good area. So just follow up with that person. All right, let's go to the next one. Tennessee. I don't know how to pronounce that street name. Hiawassee Road? Hiawassee Road? This is the middle of nowhere. Okay. Remember, properties are middle of nowhere. It doesn't mean it's a bad deal. It just means that it's gonna be harder to sell. We have this property under contract in a town called Tecumseh, Oklahoma, and the numbers work, but the population's like, I think, like less than 5,000 people, and we're still getting interest on it, but there's not a huge demand for it. We'll help where we can. All right, so it's somewhere here. All right, so let's see what the deal is with this one. Gonna send some photos of the property. Okay, I'm gonna call them from scratch.
I'm sorry, the person you are trying to reach has a voice.
All right, let's call this person again. This one is gonna be tough to comp.
I'm sorry, the person you are trying to reach has a voicemail box that has not been set up yet.
All right, let me try run some comps on this real quick and see. And remember, when you're looking at comps, don't just look at sold. Look at active. Look at pending. Okay, and that'll paint a better picture for you. Yeah, there's like nothing going on. There's nothing going on in this area. It is a rural area, so I'm going to go out a little farther, 5 miles. There we go. Okay. Yeah, I mean, these range all over the place. Well, there's actually one that sold in May for $570. How much land is this? This is half the lot size that our subject property has. But it took 463 days to sell. 463 days. And that's why you always want to pay attention also to the days on market. Oh, this is built 2022. Look at this one. Our property doesn't even say the year built on it. I don't think this one was renovated. Yeah, it looks good, but it's half the lot size. These properties in rural areas, lot size is also very important. Sometimes that'll, it could make and break it for some properties. All right, let's go to, let's see what we got here. Oh, this guy. Who's this? Mr. Mills. All right. All right, Mr. Mills. Currently AI is now. Okay, check-in, task created. So it looks like AI was talking to this person, Terry Simon. Okay. This guy, he didn't put any information. Oh, wow. Okay, well, I don't know. How many square feet is 1242 square feet? Does not look like 1242 square feet, but let's see. Looks like it needs some work. Oh, there it is. Can't really see it. It's like blurry. Let me see something real quick. Oh, there it goes. Just took a second. What is this? Okay. It's got a metal roof. All right. And there's not really much information here that he put. Let's go ahead and call him. Mr. Mills.
Please leave your message for
Let's call him back.
Please leave your message for
All right. He didn't pick up. Sometimes you just gotta go through these. Some people won't pick up. And if they don't pick up, leave a voicemail, text them. If you have a follow-up drip campaign, make sure you implement that as well, because you want to be hitting up these leads manually. But if you also have a AI drip campaign, such as like an email, they can text, email, also call, outbound call, that'll help you out a lot. All right, so we're gonna put this here. Still didn't pick up the phone. There was a lady yesterday that I've been following up with. I think it's been a year. And recently, the beginning of the year, I signed up with Resimply, and the AI has been just chatting with her or sending messages. She finally responded yesterday that she's just gonna let the property go. It's a very small property, but at $5,000, it's a good price. So I'm gonna check in with her real quick to see if she responded to the AI. Let me see if I can pull her up real quick. This AI, I mean, it'll call, it'll email, and it will text all numbers associated to that account. All right, so but she's hard to get a hold of. I mean, she's in a 12-week drip right now. All right, Miss Whitener. This is in Newberry, South Carolina. It's a very small house. It's only 660 square feet. So when I'm running comps on these kinds of properties, I mean, you got to be really conservative. You remember, you only want to go above or below 300 square feet. This thing's I think it's been vacant for a while. Needs a lot of work. Inherited property, tin roof, no leaks. Nephew's living there. Okay, 21660 square feet. Year built unknown. Issues with electric and plumbing. Can't do anything with it. It's more of a burden for her. She's asking 15. We agreed on 5. Let's see if she picks up. How old this photo is, but
I'm sorry, the person you are trying to reach has a voicemail box.
She has a full voicemail box. Oh, hold on. If she responds, it'll stop the drip campaign. If you want it to do it that way, I'm going to say no, even if she responds, and I'm going to put her back on a 12-week drip. Would you like to how? Okay. Would you like to stop? Nope. All right. Let's call her right back.
I'm sorry, the person you are trying to reach has a voicemail box that has not been set up yet. Please try.
All right. Well, she's back on a drip. She has a follow-up still. You want to follow up with these leads until they answer the phone. I mean, I think the longest follow-up was, I think it was 2 years, a 2-year follow-up, because a lot of things can happen. All right, somebody submitted one in Nevada, Missouri. Okay. Arch Street, Nevada, Missouri. Wow. Okay, so this house needs some work. I like these. All right. All right, here's the property. Has a little for sale sign there. What's the story of this one? Needs full renovation. Okay. Tired landlord, tenant damage, contractor for possession, buyer to see this week. $15K was the post accepted price. Let's go ahead and call this person. Let's see. Quick comps on it. Oh, they're asking 25.
Hello. Please leave a message after the tone.
All right, let's call him back again. And I'm running some comps on it for you here. Well, the estimated value is 76.
Hello. Please leave a message after the tone.
All right. Didn't pick up the phone. I wonder how long they've been trying to sell this. I don't know when this picture was taken, but I'm looking at the comps. There's nothing going on. Let me take a look over here. What's non-disclosure state? Hold on. MLS. So this was listed previously for $20,000. See, this is what I don't get about homeowners. You know, I don't know if they don't think we can see this stuff, but if this was listed for $20,000, you know, in August of last year, why would you ask $25,000? It makes no sense. The house is destroyed on the inside. I see MLS photos here. Okay. Yeah, this looks like an unfinished rehab. 25 is not going to do it. And keep in mind, when you guys are going after these properties or you come across some of these properties, if they are in a lower price point area, there's not much room to negotiate, even if the deal makes sense. And where it really gets a little messy is if it's a big property, it's going to cost a lot to renovate it for the investor, right? And if it was listed last year for 20, they're asking 25, right? We have to be well below 20 because you cannot resell, remarket a property close to the listing price at all. My rule of thumb is I like to, if I'm going to assign a deal and I push it out to my buyers, I got to be 40 to 50 grand. You know, there has to be 40 to 50 grand margin between the previous list price and what I'm locking it up at. Because if I relist it, the buyer's going to see that price. Okay. If they're asking 25, right? Let's say we agree on 15. I don't know, hypothetical example. If we agree on 15,000 and I push it out for 20,000, the same price it was listed last year, the buyer's going to be like, what, something's wrong with this. Why didn't it sell? What value do you bring if this was listed already? So that comes with properties in lower price point areas that were previously listed. Now, if this was off market for sale by owner, that's a different story. But that's one of the issues that you'll run into from properties on market or that were previously listed. All right, this guy, let me see. Let me see what else we got. Oh, no. So I called this person. This one I think we called a while back. Not sure. Birdie Lane. It does not look familiar. So maybe we did not call them previously. The roof looks good. House looks well taken care of. Sometimes you could just look at a house and, you know, the landscaping's clean. The roof looks newer. So then I really want to dig into details why. Okay, so Birdie Lane in Houston, been renting for 10 years, tired landlord. Okay. Has tenant. They're asking 185. All right. Let's give them a call. Tired landlords are always motivated. But also depends on, you know, is there a lease in place? If the tenant's been in there for 10 years, they got to be great tenants, and they probably got a great rate on the rent. All right, let's call. We locked up a property yesterday that has tenants that are not good tenants, and part of the reason the seller obviously wants to sell. From the chat.
Please leave a message. Norma.
All right, let's call right back. Follow up is the name of the game. Follow up. Some of these people won't pick up. You leave a voicemail 3 times a day, 3 calls, 1 voicemail, 3 text messages, 1 email.
Please leave a message.
All right, let's do some Q&A. You guys have any questions for me? All right, found a property, driving for dollars, haven't made initial call yet. If they're interested in selling, I may submit this one. Awesome. Yeah, do it. Question, how do I deal with a situation where the mother died, there was no will, and they don't have $10,000 to start probate? How would you go about that to protect your money? Best way about it. So that's a great question. We had a similar situation with a property in Ardmore, Oklahoma. And what we ended up doing is the seller didn't have the funds to, pay, right? So what we ended up doing is we actually said we would take care of it, okay? We would take care of it, and we would just get reimbursed at closing. Now, luckily, this attorney, I think went through two attorneys, 1 or 2 attorneys, I don't remember. But the attorney just took their fee at the end. Sometimes they'll need a small deposit up front, as long as it's reasonable. I think that probate, I mean, that deal took a while. That deal definitely took a while. Give me 1 second here, guys. That deal took a while, and I think it was like 5 or 6 grand, something like that. But it was a good deal. It was a good deal. It was worth it, and we were willing to pay deposit. So it also really depends on the attorney that you're gonna, that's gonna be handling the file. So offer to take care of it for the seller and get reimbursed at closing. That way they don't have to pay any expenses up front. And then look for an attorney that's willing to get paid at closing, because a lot of them do that. The good ones, at least. And then sometimes they'll require like a deposit to get the paperwork, but they also will charge depending how much time they spend on it. Great question, but that's usually what works best. And we had no problem. That deal was a great deal. It sold quick. All right, let's go. What else we got here? You can keep the questions coming if you guys have any questions. I'm going to go to the next lead here. This one, I believe we called this one Douglasville. Yeah, we already called this one Douglasville. I'm getting stuffy over here. Still making calls today. No excuses. All right. Can you lock it above? Can you lock it up before that for a price? Yes, you can. Another great question. So if a property is in probate, legally you're not going to be able to close on the property until the probate's completed. But I always tell homeowners what I just said. But I also add, by the way, if you and I agree on a price and probate's not done, we can put an agreement in place. We just legally can't close on it until probate's completed, right? And then probate could take a while. Sometimes I'll add to the terms like closing will take place after probate's completed. No problem. Keep the questions coming. I'm going to go to the next lead, and I'll get to any more questions after. I'm dropping a video today, this evening actually. Make sure you guys click the notification bell. You're subscribed. I'm dropping a video today. I actually just finished uploading. I have to edit a little bit more. But I took this video earlier this week. But it's getting released today. It's going to be on how to find cash buyers and how to work with them. It's going to be really good. It's actually, I think, the first video I really dig into the cash buyers and a tool that I love. And just steps on, where do you find cash buyers? Once you find cash buyers, what's that process look like? So I made a video on that. I think you guys will enjoy. Also, if you guys have any ideas or, you want me to make a video about specific topic, make sure you leave it in the comments below. And I read the comments, right? Or you could shoot me a DM or you can post whatever in the community. If there's anything that you'd like me to make a video about, I want to answer your specific questions to help you out. Because, mainly I'm going to start focusing more videos on what I wish I knew when I first started or things that are working today, right? There's this, like AI is one of the things that it's evolutionizing every day. There's always something new coming out every day. And if you combine AI with real estate, like it is a game changer. Okay. If you're not using AI right now, there's somebody out there that's using it. Start learning about it. Start learning how to implement it, in your business. Right now, for example, we're using a CRM called Resimply. I'll leave a link in the description below. But that thing will call the leads. It'll, leave a ringless voicemail pre-recorded. It will text the lead. It will email the lead. And you can decide how often you want it to follow up. You can decide to tell the AI what to do depending on how they answer. I mean, it's crazy. It just gets better and better. All right, let's go to the next lead. Let's see what we got here. I called that one. Let's see if there's any new leads here. I'm going to go to my CRM real quick and just double check. I thought a new lead came in today. Let me see something real quick. Nope. She came in Monday. There's one. Let's see. This lady, we're playing phone tag with her. Some people will not pick up even when you submit the lead and you call them right when they submitted. They may not pick up. Make sure you double dial. You leave a voicemail, a text, an email, whatever you got to do. And make sure you hit that lead 3 times the same day it comes in. I can't stress how important it is. Excuse me. I can't stress how important it is to, like really call these leads a lot. Like 90% of the game is follow up, making sure you're hitting the lead multiple times a day. Okay, because one call is not going to do it. It's just not going to do it. And inbound leads will always be filling out other forms. Okay. Let's go to here. Let me see. Oh, this guy. Let me call this lead. This guy. Let me see if it's the same seller because there's 2. Yeah, I mean, this guy inherited the property. It's a weird situation. He inherited the property. It's in pre-foreclosure. He lives out of his truck, and he just won't pick up the phone. And it's sad to see sometimes because some people, they just won't have a sense of urgency to handle that situation. Sometimes it's too late. We spoke with a guy yesterday. We've been blowing up. And then literally the day before foreclosure, he calls us back. And like, I can't help you. Help me help you. Right? All right. So, I mean, the house looks great. You know how much this guy wants? He only needs $80,000. Let's try giving him a call. And let's see if he picks up. Let's see. He just doesn't have much time left. I think he has 10 days. So I know we can sell this in 10 days for sure. It's even worth the double close. Worth the double close or take down and relist.
The subscriber you are trying to reach is not available. Please leave your message.
Let's call again. And then I'll leave a message. And he has a cell phone.
The subscriber you are trying to reach is not available. Please leave your message after the tone.
Hey, Mike, this is Steven. Hope all is well. I just wanted to give you a call back and see if you were still interested in selling. I know that there's an expiration date on that timeline you need to sell for. Please give me a call back as soon as you can. Thanks. I can only do so much to push this guy to move quickly. Because these pre-foreclosure leads, it's not a matter of if they need to sell. It's like they have to sell. And, sometimes they'll wait. And that's not good. All right, so I left a voicemail for him. We're going to start role-playing in the community on Monday. I think it's important that, especially for newer people, to get really accustomed to the script and overcoming objections and all that stuff. It's going to be really important. So let me update this real quick. I mean, I'm going to call this guy every day until he picks up the phone. I may even send a real estate agent out there. That's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to find a local agent for, was this Ringgold? And we just have to show up. Get creative. You know, I don't know if he says he lives in his truck. I mean, according to what he told me, the house is in great shape, but get creative with your follow-up. You know, one time we sent this guy a pizza. I'll never forget. It was a deal in Washington, D.C., and they were just not picking up. We sent them a pizza and with a note, and then they called us. So you got to think outside the box. Send them flowers. Send them a pizza, prepaid pizza. Have a runner or an agent put a sticky note on the door. You got to think outside the box because you'll never be the only one speaking with these homeowners. And especially if you're doing this virtually, there's somebody locally that has an advantage over you because they can meet with the homeowner. And sometimes that's just the way it is. All right, let's go over here. Let me see what else we got here. Let's see. Oh, this lady. All right. Looks like this is a new lead from this morning. Let's give her a call right now. All right. Hold on a second. I got to sign a campaign to it real quick. She looks like she's asking hi already, but it doesn't matter. You know, I don't know why that is. And I think a lot of newer people struggle with it because I did. If I saw an asking price and it was too high, I'm like, yeah, this isn't a deal. But I've seen people drop a significant amounts. Sometimes it's just what happens. She didn't put an address in though. And send her a different email. All right, let's give him a call. See if she picks up. No address. So I don't know what. All right, let's call it again. No answer. All right, so since there's no address, I'm gonna implement. I'm gonna activate the drip campaign on this. We're gonna call her again, and I'm gonna put her on a 7-day drip. The 7-day drip is a lot more aggressive. First 7-day new leads. This thing will blow them up every day for 7 days. On top of me calling them. So they're going to know we're calling. You know, they still don't pick up, try different numbers, but hitting them from all different angles. So I'm going to put left, no answer, and I'm going to update this to discovery because she didn't pick up. We're going to keep the drip campaign running. All right, let's go to the next one. No, I just called that guy. I called that person as well. Okay, this one, where's this at? College Station, Texas. We actually just closed a deal not too far from there. All right. This says closed. You know, sometimes when leads are submitted or even some old leads, it has a Zillow button on the CRM. I take a look at that real quick because if they're too old, they've sold. Yeah, this sold last month, so this is dead. This is dead. That's the only time a lead is technically like really dead is when they've sold. All right, let's go to. No, this lady wasn't one I called today. This guy. All right, let's call this guy. He's more of a night owl, but he has 2 properties. Be careful with homeowners that, you know, how do I say this? Like this guy says, I'm motivated. I need to sell next week. I have health issues. And like, we've been following up with this guy. How long? Let me see. I think it's been 7 months or so. It's been a long time. He has 2 properties he wants to sell, but you know, sometimes people they'll say things, and you know, sometimes the reason they'll say things is because this happens more than you think, and you may not even realize it. Homeowners, if they are saying they're in a really bad situation, but they're not committed to move forward, they want to get a price out of you, and they should get a price. But the thing is, if you get a price, if you give them a price and they're not committed to move forward, most of the time they're going to shop that price around. And I feel like that this is what this guy's doing. I feel like he's shopping the price around. But we've been following up with him for such a long time that the comps may be different, you know? The comps may be different. And you know, I always tell people that I can't promise you the same offer next time we speak, because the market could change quickly. You know, maybe we buy another property in the area. There could be a lot of reasons. Why is this blurry? It's a nice house, 2-story house, brick. So make sure that people have a sense of urgency when you're giving them offers. Let them know that it's not good forever, because there's always going to be somebody else that calls them, and they're going to go through the same thing, the same spiel. Yeah, I'm motivated to sell. What's your offer? And then it turns out that they're not really motivated to sell. They're not really committed. So let's call this guy. Let's see. So he has 2 properties. I'm going to come across as somebody new because I'm actually calling from a different number. Yeah, I mean, this needs some work, I can tell. That roof looks like it's about to...
Your call has been forwarded to voicemail. The person you're...
Let's call him back.
Your call has been forwarded to voicemail.
He's probably sleeping. He likes to talk at like 8 or 9 o'clock. Okay, so let me just make sure the AI conversation's on. Yeah, Resimply conversational AI is turned on. So I'm actually going to send him a text message. And if he responds, the AI will keep talking to him. Oh, look, somebody responded. Mr. Stein. Ah, look at that. The AI got him back on the hook. All right. Well, let's give him a call. I think is this a new one? No, this guy's been in the system for a while. He's been in the system for a while, but he's still looking to sell. Oh, this is the one in Broken Arrow. Okay. Well, let's try calling this one. I really like this one. Properties in good areas sell quick. And you'd be surprised. Sometimes this 70% rule goes out the window. I don't use the 70% rule. It's a good rule of thumb. But you'd be surprised in some of these areas how much more a landlord will buy the property for. It'll be way above the 70% rule because they're not looking for a quick flip, you know? So this is the guy that answered via text. Let me try calling him. Let me see.
Your call has been forwarded to voicemail. The person you're trying to reach is not available. At the tone.
I'm gonna text him. I'm gonna text him because maybe he's a texter. I don't know. Maybe he's more of a texter. That's okay. When you're texting somebody, your goal is to get them on the phone, not to text and text and text. When would be the best time to get on a quick call? So I'm going to deactivate the AI text. Sometimes it'll say things I don't want it to, but that can be adjusted. Oh, nice. Okay. All right. All right. So I text him, when would be the best time to get on a quick call? I'll see what he responds with. And the goal is to get him on the phone, but I mean, this isn't a phenomenal area. I think this is sell very quick. We got a property yesterday was it in Tulsa? Where was that property at? I just want to tell you about the 70% rule. It was El Reno. That's where it was. When you're looking at properties listed, remember, when you're running comps, look at properties that are active and for sale. And one of the ones that are active for sale was this one that I found. Okay. Now you look at this, it looks pretty good from the outside. It doesn't look too bad, right? And then you get to the inside of the house. Look at this thing. You know how much they're asking for this? They're asking $150. Oh, it's right here. They're asking for $150 for this. Maybe it was unfinished rehab. I don't know. But they're asking $150 for this. And it's getting some action. Okay. They dropped the price last month. 40 days, 48 saves, 1,600 views. Price below market. We got a property under contract. It's basically identical to this. But people live in it. It's tenant occupied. It looks nothing like this. We got it for $103,000. And I think the ARV, you know, it's so weird because I am conservative with the ARVs. I think the ARVs are around, 180 to 200. This thing, they're asking 150. It's a fixer-upper. And the 70%, if I were to do the 70% rule, right? Let me just show you what I'm talking about. So, like, let's say the ARV is 200,000 times 70%. Okay, I'm at 140 already. I'm not even including renovation costs. Let's say it needs $25,000 rehab. Probably needs, the other one. I'm talking about this one here. We're at 115. Let's say you want to make 10 grand. Okay, you're at 105. Okay, you're at 105. And there's properties selling for like 155, 135. And I'm like, man, this does not apply. I mean, some are fixer-uppers, some aren't, but don't ever rely just on the 70% rule because, in my opinion, the best way to run comps is to see what buyers are paying for similar properties. I mean, that's really it. That's really it. But I will be dropping a video this evening. Make sure you guys turn on notifications. If you're in the community, I'll see you there on Monday. And guys, I hope you have a blessed week.